You want your video content to do more than just look good. You want it to drive revenue.
Yeah.
And that means ditching the throw it at the wall and see what sticks approach and going for something a bit more strategic. We're here to help you make that happen.
It all comes down to meeting your potential customers where they are, you know,
Yeah.
in their buying journey. So by understanding their mindset, their needs at each stage, you can create content that resonates, that really guides them towards a purchase.
Okay. So let's break down this whole buyer's journey thing a bit further. We know it's not just one straight line from seeing a video to like making a purchase. Right?
Exactly. There are distinct phases, each, with its own unique characteristics and content requirements. Traditionally, we look at three core stages. We got awareness, consideration, and decision.
Okay. So let's start with awareness.
Mm.
These are like folks who might be experiencing a problem, but haven't necessarily connected to your product or service as a solution yet.
Right. Think of it as planting the seed. They may be feeling the pain, but they haven't identified a specific solution. This is where educational content can be incredibly effective. Explainer videos, thought leadership pieces, anything that highlights the problem in an engaging way.
So it's about educating them, informing them about the problem itself, not necessarily hitting them with a hard sell right away.
Yeah, precisely. You want to establish yourself as a trusted resource, someone who understands their challenges. Now, as they move into the consideration stage, they're actively exploring their options. They're comparing you to competitors, digging deeper into potential solutions.
So at this stage, it becomes more about demonstrating why your solution is the best fit for their needs.
Exactly. This is where storytelling can play a crucial role. Think case studies showcasing how you've helped others overcome similar challenges, or testimonials from satisfied customers, singing your praises. High-quality production can make a big difference here because you're building trust and credibility.
Right. It's about showcasing that expertise that you have and building confidence in your brand. And finally, we reach the decision stage. They're ready to buy, but they might still have some, lingering doubts or need a final push. What kind of content do we need here?
Now's the time to, remove friction and provide that final nudge. Think detailed product demos, clear pricing breakdowns, anything that eliminates hesitation and makes the next step clear.
Okay, so we've got these three distinct stages, each requiring, a tailored content approach.
Yeah.
But how do we actually start matching specific content types to each stage?
For the awareness stage, you want content that's, easily digestible and shareable. Think short, attention-grabbing videos that pique their interest. A quick, visually driven animation explaining the problem, maybe, like a series of short, impactful tips shared on social media could be very effective.
Okay. And what about for the consideration stage? What kinds of formats really shine when it comes to building that trust factor?
Oh, customer testimonials are pure gold here. Let your happy customers do the talking for you. You can also offer behind-the-scenes glimpses into your company culture, values. For more complex products or services, consider webinars or in-depth blog posts that answer common questions, address concerns head-on.
So it's all about providing that deeper level of information, building confidence in your brand and, the solution that you're offering.
Right. Then, once they're in the decision stage, we need to make it as easy as possible for them to take action. Detailed product demos are key here, walking them through features and benefits. You might also consider comparison charts that highlight your advantages over, the competition. And of course, never underestimate the power of a clear and compelling call to action.
So we've mapped out specific types of content for each stage. But how do we know if our efforts are actually working? Views are great, but are we truly influencing decisions and driving revenue?
That's the million-dollar question, right? We need to look beyond vanity metrics, things like views, and focus on deeper engagement, and ultimately conversions. Let's break down how to measure impact at each stage.
Let's do it. How do we know our awareness stage content is, hitting the mark?
For awareness, it's all about engagement. Are people watching, sharing, commenting? Are you seeing an increase in website traffic or brand mentions as a result of your content? Those are positive signs that you're capturing attention and sparking interest.
So we're looking for those signals that people are actually absorbing the message,
Yeah,
and finding value in the content.
exactly. Then, in the consideration stage, we track interactions with those trust-building pieces. How much time are people spending on case study pages? Are they clicking through to learn more? Are they downloading those resources you've created?
Okay, so instead of aiming for, virality or just lots of views, we're looking for signs of genuine interest and deeper engagement with the brand.
Precisely. And finally, for the decision stage, it all comes down to conversions. Are people contacting your sales team? Downloading trial versions of your software? Scheduling demos? These are the actions that directly translate into revenue.
So this is where we can really see the return on our content investment. But it seems like gathering direct feedback from clients is valuable at every stage.
Absolutely. Ask them what content influenced their decision, what resonated with them, what information was most helpful. Their insights can be incredibly valuable as you refine your strategy.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. But for someone, feeling a bit overwhelmed, where do they even begin? How do you build a revenue-generating content strategy from scratch?
It starts with research. You need a deep understanding of your target audience.
Yeah.
What are their pain points? What questions are they asking? What does their decision-making process actually look like?
So it all begins with getting into the minds of our potential customers.
Yeah.
Once we have that understanding, what comes next?
Then you can create a targeted content plan. This is where you map out specific pieces of content for each stage of the journey, making sure you're addressing their needs and questions at every step.
Okay, so it's starting to feel like a roadmap to success.
Mhm.
But I imagine this is where a lot of people feel stuck. Creating content takes time, resources, expertise.
It does. And that's where a company like Studio 86 comes in. We specialize in helping businesses like yours create impactful video content that aligns with each stage of the buyer's journey.
So Studio 86 can take the guesswork out of this process and help businesses craft a content strategy that actually delivers results.
Exactly. We're not just video producers, we're strategic partners. We help you understand your audience, map out the buyer's journey, and develop a content plan that drives real business outcomes.
This is incredibly helpful. It's clear that aligning content with the buyer's journey is essential for driving revenue. But I'm curious, are there any common pitfalls or mistakes you see businesses making in this area? What should we be aware of as we move forward?
Oh, one of the biggest mistakes is creating content without a clear strategy. They're just making videos for the sake of making videos without really thinking about, who they're trying to reach or what message they want to convey at each stage of the buyer's journey.
So it's really about having that intentional approach,
Right.
knowing your audience, understanding their journey,
Yeah.
and creating content that speaks directly to their needs at each stage.
Exactly. Without that foundation, you're just shooting in the dark. And in today's competitive landscape, that's just not going to cut it. You need a strategic roadmap to guide your content creation efforts.
And that's where understanding the nuances of each stage becomes so important. For example, in the awareness stage, it's not just about throwing out any explainer video. It's about creating something that truly captures attention,
Yeah.
that piques interest.
Right. We've seen some companies have tremendous success by taking a, less conventional approach to those awareness stage videos. For example, instead of a straightforward explainer, they created a series of short, humorous skits that highlighted the problem their product solves in a relatable and entertaining way.
So they used humor to break through the noise and connect with their audience on a more emotional level.
Exactly. The videos went viral. They saw a massive increase in brand awareness, and it really helped position them as a company that, doesn't take itself too seriously. Of course, humor isn't always the right approach, but it illustrates the importance of thinking outside the box, finding creative ways to stand out.
It does. That's a great example of how a creative approach can really pay off. What about the consideration stage? Any innovative approaches you've seen there?
One company that really impressed me in the consideration stage, they created a series of mini documentaries featuring their customers. Instead of just typical testimonials, they produced high-quality videos that told the stories of real people and how the company's product had a tangible impact on their lives.
So they went beyond simply stating the benefits,
Yeah.
and instead they showcased the real-world value of their product through compelling storytelling.
Exactly. These mini documentaries were emotionally engaging, they built trust, and they provided social proof in a very authentic way. They saw a significant increase in leads and conversions after launching that campaign.
It's incredibly powerful. It really highlights the importance of thinking beyond traditional formats and finding creative ways to connect with your audience on a deeper level.
Absolutely. And in the decision stage, we've seen companies use, interactive video content very effectively. Instead of just a static product demo, they created an experience where viewers could choose their own path based on their specific interests or needs.
So they personalized the experience and gave viewers more control over the information they were consuming.
Exactly. This approach led to higher engagement rates, and they saw a significant increase in people requesting demos and contacting the sales team.
It's fascinating to see how, creative approaches can really elevate content at every stage of the journey. But as we're developing this content and trying new things, it's, crucial to measure our impact.
Right. We talked earlier about tracking engagement, conversions, and gathering feedback. Are there any tools or platforms that can help with this process?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of great analytics platforms out there that can provide, valuable insights into how your content is performing. For video specifically, YouTube Analytics and Vimeo Insights are fantastic for tracking views, watch time, audience demographics, and
Well,
engagement metrics.
so we can get really granular data on how people are interacting with our videos. Exactly. And then you've got tools like Google Analytics, which can track website traffic, show you how people are navigating your site after watching a video. You can even set up goals and conversion tracking to see if people are taking, those desired actions, like signing up for a newsletter or downloading a resource.
So we're not just, throwing content out there and hoping for the best. We can actually see what's working, what's not, and make adjustments as needed.
Right. Data is essential for making informed decisions about your content strategy. But it's also important to remember the power of, direct customer feedback. Send out surveys, talk to your sales team, even, hop on calls with some of your most loyal customers to gather qualitative insights.
It's all about that continuous improvement.
Right, yeah.
Learning, adapting, and refining our approach based on, the data and feedback we're receiving.
Absolutely. There's no, one-size-fits-all approach to video content marketing. The key is to be flexible, experimental, and always focused on delivering value to your audience.
So as we move into the final part of our, deep dive, I'm curious to hear your perspective on one more thing. We've talked a lot about the different stages of the buyer's journey, but how do we ensure a smooth transition between those stages? What can we do to seamlessly guide viewers from one stage to the next?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's not enough to just create content for each stage in isolation. We need to think about how those pieces connect, and guide the viewer on a natural journey towards becoming a customer.
Right. Make it all feel like a cohesive experience.
Exactly. One of the most effective ways to create that seamless flow is through, strategic calls to action. At the end of each video, guide viewers to the next logical step in their journey.
So, for example, at the end of an awareness stage video, we might encourage viewers to, download a free guide or visit a specific page on our website to learn more.
Exactly. And then, on that landing page, you'd offer content tailored to the consideration stage, such as case studies or customer testimonials. It's all about creating a clear path for the viewer to follow, always offering them, valuable content that aligns with their current needs and interests.
Right. So each piece of content acts like a stepping stone, guiding them further down the funnel.
Exactly. And as we're guiding viewers through this journey, it's crucial to remember the importance of data and feedback. We talked earlier about using analytics to track engagement and conversions, but how can we use that data to optimize our content and ensure we're effectively moving people through the funnel?
That's a great point. Data can be so valuable if we use it strategically.
Data can be incredibly powerful for refining your strategy. For example, if you notice that people are dropping off at a certain point in a video, it could indicate that the content isn't resonating or that the call to action isn't compelling enough. You can then use that insight to make adjustments and improve the viewer experience.
So it's a continuous cycle of analysis, iteration, and improvement.
Exactly. And the beauty of digital content is that it's so flexible. You can easily make updates and changes based on the data you're seeing. It's not like traditional marketing where you launch a campaign and then you're stuck with it.
Right. It's all about that agility and responsiveness. But data alone doesn't tell the whole story. Direct feedback from customers is still incredibly valuable, right?
Absolutely. Talk to your sales team, send out surveys, even, hop on calls with some of your most engaged viewers to gather qualitative insights. Ask them what they like, what they didn't like, and what would make their experience even better. That kind of feedback can be invaluable for understanding the nuances of your audience and refining your content strategy.
It's all about that human element, getting those real-world perspectives.
It is. This has been an incredibly insightful conversation. We've covered so much ground, from understanding the buyer's journey to creating compelling content for each stage, measuring our impact, and optimizing our approach. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to one of the key themes we've touched on throughout this deep dive, the importance of collaboration between marketing and sales. Can you elaborate a bit more on how those two teams can work together seamlessly to create content that truly drives revenue?
It's something we hear about a lot, but it's easier said than done. So how do we make that collaboration happen?
Well, I think the foundation of any successful collaboration is open communication and shared goals. Marketing needs to understand the challenges sales is facing, the questions they're hearing from prospects, and the types of content that would be most helpful in closing deals. They should be attending sales meetings, listening to sales calls, and constantly seeking input from the front lines.
So it's about breaking down those silos and creating a truly integrated approach.
Exactly. And sales needs to be actively involved in the content creation process. They can provide valuable insights into the buyer's mindset, the objections they're encountering, and the information that's most persuasive. When both teams feel like they're part of the process, you get content that's not only engaging and informative, but also highly effective in moving prospects through the sales funnel.
It's a true partnership, both teams working together towards a common goal. And I imagine that kind of collaboration can lead to some pretty incredible results.
It absolutely can. When marketing and sales are aligned, you get a powerful synergy that can transform your entire content strategy. You create content that resonates with your target audience, builds trust, and ultimately drives revenue. And that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. It's been so insightful exploring this approach to video content. We've covered a lot of ground today, but one thing that's become crystal clear is that aligning your content with the buyer's journey is essential for achieving success in today's competitive landscape. But I know that implementing these strategies can feel overwhelming, especially for businesses with limited resources or expertise. What advice would you give to someone who's feeling a bit lost or unsure where to start?
My advice would be to start small and focus on one stage at a time. Don't try to do everything at once. Identify the stage where you feel you have the most opportunity for improvement and start there. Experiment with different content formats, gather data, get feedback, and iterate as you go. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are resources available, like Studio 86, that can provide guidance and support as you navigate this journey.
That's such an important reminder. Sometimes just taking that first step can feel daunting. But as we've discussed today, the potential rewards are well worth the effort. By creating video content that truly aligns with the buyer's journey, you can connect with your audience on a deeper level, build stronger relationships, and ultimately drive significant revenue growth for your business. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or need some help getting started, remember that Studio 86 is here to support you every step of the way. We've got a team of experts who are passionate about helping businesses like yours succeed with video, so don't hesitate to reach out and schedule a free consultation. We'd love to chat with you about your specific goals and how we can help you achieve them. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.